Hi, I'm Cheryl Calio from Fremont, California, and I'm a mentor here. Occasionally, not often, but occasionally you'll see some very well-prepared kids say some very obscure things or make some critical decisions that the judges disagree with and the judges are wrong. Now, in one case, I actually saw a judge correct another judge in front of the kids. But occasionally you walk out and the teacher knows that the judge was incorrect and the kids know it, and we're wondering what might happen when they walk out that door. It happens very seldom, but I have seen it on occasion.
I once had a panel where I was judging, and the question was, what part of the Constitution has not worked out the way that the framers intended it not to work out? That was not what the judge asked, that was what the senator asked. And the students talked about the Electoral College. And at the end of the presentation, one of my fellow judges criticized the students for that answer. And I publicly took the side of the students in front of the judges. That does happen. And sometimes I'll say something to a judge after the class, so you won't know that something has been said to a judge. And sometimes we're wrong. And if we're wrong and we don't know that we're wrong, I know that, I don't recommend this, but I know that it's available, it has to be available. And I know that teachers talk to people at the center when they think that the judges, I mean, we're judged constantly. I don't know that judges are aware of how often we're judged. We're judged constantly. And we get feedback during the course of the weekend or on Monday about how we're doing. And none of us hold ourselves out to be perfect. And of course, one time I sat in on a panel that I wasn't judging, and there was a question about that the judges were asking, which was surprising that they didn't really know what they were asking. They were asking about Guantanamo or something. And the students said something about the Patriot Act. And the students said something wrong about the Patriot Act, and the judge didn't catch that the students were wrong about the Patriot Act. And then the judges left, and I heard the teacher say to the students, well, you know, you were wrong about this, but the judges didn't pick up on it, so you're okay. So there are all kinds of permutations on this. And my guess is that it probably will cancel out pretty much over time. But yes, I have corrected judges when they've said things that, you know, I would understand why the students would be very upset that they said, you know, you're wrong, obviously it's going to affect how the judge is going to score when in fact the students are. I thought the Electoral College was a perfectly fine answer to that question.
Cheryl, I doubt that judges are wrong on everything.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And that's the point is that one wrong question or one wrong answer, I don't think in the complexity of the scoring makes or breaks a team. Is it frustrating for students? Absolutely. And do they deserve to know? You probably understood that better than the judges, you bet. But whether that one gap is going to sink them is the thing that I would want to assure them it isn't going to happen.
My name is Tom Driscoll. I teach in Thompson, Connecticut. This may seem a little trivial, but I just want to get some of your thoughts on the theatrics that happen sometimes in the opening statements, and whether you think that maybe helps or hurts, or any thoughts on
We all lurch for the microphone.
I'm not a big fan of the highly choreographed opening statements. Actually, it was the team yesterday that I don't think it hurts, but in my mind, it doesn't help. And I am much more impressed by the thoughtful opening statement, opens the question, has some interesting historical references, takes a somewhat a novel or original. We heard 14 opening statements on question 1 of Unit 2 yesterday. That gives you sort of a good perspective on the waterfront, and one that is really thoughtful, creative, is much more impressive than one that is clever.
These are mock congressional hearings. Anyone who appeared before the United States House or any subcommittee thereof, or the United States Senate or any subcommittee thereof, would not be engaged in theatrics. It's about information, understanding, helping public policymakers make better decisions. That's the mode that we are in. The theatrics, in my view, can get in the way. Student introductions that tell me I'm engaged in 26 extracurricular activities after school, and oh, by the way, I'm attending Oxford University next year, doesn't help either. Because what I'm thinking is, wow, this competition must be pretty far down your list of important things to do, given the other 26 things you're doing. And have we created such an expectation of our for future citizens or participants in this regime that we're just going to be so frantically busy we can't ever stop and be reflective? They just kind of need to think about some of that. I was teasing the young man as we exited yesterday. I said, "You really going to Oxford?" And he just smiled and said, "I was wondering if you'd pick up on that. It's in my state." But that's cool. Obviously, they want to impress us. And their notion is the way to impress is with theatrics. And I just wish I could help them understand there's nothing more impressive than an eye-to-eye conversation with a smart young person who makes it feel so good to get old and turn it over to them.
Can I make one more observation, which is, I like knowing where you're going to go to college just because I think it's interesting, but I don't think it matters. It affects the scoring at all. I don't hold it against them, but it doesn't help at all. What I often think about when I hear sort of the clever stuff, the choreographed stuff, is I thought that when I was in law school, one of my classmates handed in a paper, and sort of the introductory paragraph was some clever rhyming limerick or something. And I've always remembered the professor's response to that student was, "What would you do if I didn't think this was funny?" And I mean, I think that's right. I mean, I think it doesn't. It's extremely unlikely to help, and it could hurt, and it just get things off on the on some wrong. I see no reason to do it.